All right, let's talk about how to get the absolute most out of your AP World History review. If you're here, you're looking for a strategy, and that's exactly what we're going to build. This will be your guide to using the World History Modern Notebook to really sharpen your skills and your content knowledge. So here's our game plan. First up, we'll frame what this course refresher is all about. Then, and this is crucial, we'll dive into what it really means to think like a historian. After that, we'll dissect the exam itself, so you know exactly what you're facing. And finally, we'll wrap up with a clear, step-by-step strategy for using this notebook. Okay, so let's jump right in. Before you start any review, you have to know the lay of the land. What's the purpose and what's the scope? And first things first, let's get one thing straight about what this notebook is. It's not a textbook meant to teach you everything from scratch. Think of it more like a gym for your history brain. It's a tool to reinforce what you already know, sharpen your arguments, and connect all the dots from the things you've learned this year. And speaking of connecting the dots, the scope here is, well, it's huge. We're talking about a solid 800 years of human history, stretching across the entire globe. Your job isn't just to know about events from the Mongol Empire to modern globalization, but to understand how they link together. This notebook is designed to be your map for navigating that complexity. Now, let's pivot to what is, without a doubt, the most critical part of this course. Because your success isn't just about what you can remember, it's about what you can do with that knowledge. We have to move way beyond memorization. So what does that actually mean, to think historically? Well, I can tell you it is not about winning a trivia night. It's not a game of who can recall the most names and dates. It's about developing a powerful set of analytical lenses that let you look at the past and interpret it in a sophisticated way. This right here, this is your historian's toolkit. These are the actual skills you need to master. Can you look at a primary source and figure out its perspective, its purpose, its bias? Can you build a solid argument and back it up with evidence? You know, it's not just knowing that the Industrial Revolution happened. It's being able to argue how the steam engine caused huge changes in where and how people lived. These skills are the whole ballgame. And that really is the fundamental shift you have to make. Every single fact, person, or event you review is potential ammunition. It's evidence. Your goal is to become an architect of historical arguments, not just a warehouse full of historical facts. Okay, so you've got these skills. How do they actually get measured? Let's connect this idea of historical thinking directly to the exam by breaking down its structure. Knowing the layout is half the battle. So, take a look at this breakdown. The multiple choice section is a big piece of the pie, for sure, at 40%. But just look at what makes up the rest of it. What do you see? It's all about writing. The short answer, the DBQ, the long essay, that's where the majority of your points are. 60%. Let that number sink in for a second. The majority of your score comes directly from your ability to write a compelling historical argument. This is exactly why practicing your writing isn't just a good idea, it is absolutely essential. And here's the nitty-gritty of how your time breaks down. Notice the pace on that first part. 55 multiple choice questions in 55 minutes. You gotta be quick. But then look at the time you get for writing. A full hour for the document-based question and 40 minutes for the long essay. Knowing this timing lets you practice your pacing so nothing comes as a surprise. So, we know why historical thinking matters, and we know how it's assessed. Now let's get to the how for you. How can you use this notebook to prepare? This is all about active, targeted review, not just passively flipping through notes. I've broken it down into a really simple 3-phase plan. Think of it this way. First, you review the content to build a solid foundation. Second, you refine your writing skills to apply that content effectively. And third, you test yourself to see where you stand. Phase 1 is all about that foundation. You're going to start with the unit overview videos to get that big picture view. Then you'll hit the flashcards to lock in all those key terms and concepts. And maybe most importantly, you'll use the quick questions to diagnose your own understanding. They'll show you exactly where you need to focus your energy. All right, on to phase 2. This is where we tackle that huge 60% of your score. You're going to dive deep into the specific guides for the DBQ, the SAQ, and the LEQ. Your goal here is to really internalize what makes a great response, to understand the rubrics, and to see how to structure your arguments for maximum impact. And finally, phase 3. It's dress rehearsal time. You'll take the multiple choice practice exam to get a feel for the pacing and the style of the questions. Then you can get even more practice by working through the stimulus-based context questions. This is where you put it all together under pressure. And here's a pro tip. Seriously, do not sleep on this feature. This isn't just about reviewing, it's about learning. If you're stuck on a tricky concept, like, I don't know, the nuances of mercantilism, use the chat feature. You can ask super specific questions and get clear, accurate answers. It's like having a personal tutor on call 24/7. So there you have it. You've got the structure, you've got the strategy, and you've got the tools right here in front of you. The only thing left to do is to dive in and get started. So let's start thinking like a historian right now. Stop asking, what do I need to memorize? And start asking better questions. What historical connection are you going to explore first? What comparison are you going to make? What chain of events are you going to trace? Your review starts not with a random fact, but with a great question. You've got this.